Well, welcome everyone to a special edition of the Compendium podcast. I am here today with Robert Lunte. He is a coach, he's a trainer, he's really a voice coach among many other things. Is that true?
I am a voice coach and an agency owner.
And an agency owner.
I'm fairly schizophrenic, yes.
Yes. Well, you, like many people here, you do a lot of things.
I do a lot of things.
We're going to get into some of those things today.
Some things I can't talk about.
So yes, please. We are in a very special episode today because we are here filming this live at PodFest 2022 in Orlando, Florida. And we are having a wonderful time. Robert, you've been one of the presenters. You've been one of the trainers at this event.
Yep.
We just met really officially a few minutes ago. I've seen you around. We've kind of almost shook hands, but really now we're starting to get to know each other, and I'm starting to understand what it is that you do and how you add value to people. So if you could summarize that right out the gate, introduce yourself, and tell us how it is that you do add value and train people.
I see. Okay. Well, I'm Robert Lunte, founder of two companies. Company number one, 25 years, the Vocalist Studio, where we have been helping singers, public speakers, and coaches learn how to physically train, to build the motor skills and the strength of their voice to sing and speak better through a best-selling book and 9 online courses in 5 languages.
Wow.
The other thing that we do is I run an agency called Course Creek. Course Creek is an agency that helps coaches, authors, thought leaders, anybody with a great idea, build asynchronous courses, live masterclasses, and cohorts on learning management systems and instructional design. So we're helping thought leaders get a product, build a product, something that they can, something that will speak for them and teach their curriculum while they're sleeping.
Yes.
Scalability.
Now, you've been teaching and training during this conference. This is a 4-day event here in Orlando, Florida, as of the recording of this. Most of our viewers and listeners probably did not get to attend, okay? I actually have been at the booth most of the time, so I didn't even really get to attend your seminars. So tell us something that, just give us like a value bomb that you dropped on people that really they would only get from you, but we didn't quite make it to the course or the seminar, so give us something good.
All right, I did a talk that was inspired by my work at Course Creek as an agency owner, and it was titled, "Do It Yourself on Camera and Not Look Like an Amateur." I think it is literally the simplest content of the entire event here.
Sure.
And yet, people seem to painfully need this. Now, what we're talking about was a presentation that was simply, when you get in front of a camera, do it yourself for social media or building a course, let's not have the camera where you're just a head and a ceiling fan. That's a no.
Yeah.
Chopping off your head, that's a no.
Sure.
But let's get centered in. So framing was an example of something we did.
Yes.
Now, answering your question, something sort of cool, something that was sort of unique that I thought was, I taught folks, we talked a little bit about backgrounds. And it's a great idea to find a corner in your home, in your studio, when you're doing it yourself. Find a white corner, because white is a good, natural, neutral color. And get in a corner, all right? Now, first of all, we want white because it doesn't create any visual distractions and it keeps viewers looking right at you.
Sure.
And in the editing process, if there's annotations that come in the editing process, you already have a natural white background. So it's going to pop better. It's going to be really nice and clean looking.
Good point.
We sit in a corner because it gives us a little bit of depth.
Yes.
And one last cool trick, I hope you were able to get that, is if you have a nice texture on your walls, that's perfectly fine and that's cool. But if you go out to like Zoom or your software and you push the blur feature, you get the blur effect.
Sure.
You can instantly turn your corner into a poor man's cyclorama.
Sure.
Where you're just sort of like in a cloud. So that's very simple. Any corner in your home,
that's
get
great.
Centered, you get depth, you get clean look, and you can have texture or a cyclorama effect.
That's great. Now, when you introduced yourself to me officially, when we finally talked today, the first thing you mentioned was being a voice coach. Okay, now you do a variety of things, But the voice coach thing I want to zero in on. Okay?
All right.
Because as somebody who is a podcaster, a voiceover artist for marketing commercials and so on and so forth, I'm fascinated by this. I also know a large piece of our audience are podcasters, they're content creators, as well as author, speaker, coach.
Yeah.
Give us some tips when it comes to the voice. What can we be doing to warm up our voice, to not strain our voice, to deliver the resonance and the cadence of our voice? I mean, really, you can go any direction you want with it, but what's a tip or two that we could put into practice right away?
Yeah. Try as I may, I cannot get away from the vocal coaching.
Yeah.
I keep getting pulled into it.
You said it. People are like, hey, tell us more.
No, it's a really great question. It's a fantastic question. So there are a lot of things you can do for your voice to make it more animated, more amplified, increase the prosody. A cool tip would be simply this. I would invite you to do what we call a semi-occluded phonation, okay? That means a partly closed phonation. That's voice coach techie talk for basically buzzing on a nasal. So we're going to take a nasal, all right? And we'll use an M. A nasal meaning phonetic. So the letter M is a nasal, all right? And this is the letter M. Okay, now you notice that I'm humming, meaning it's sort of warm and woofy. That's what you don't want to do. Get on an M, put a smirky smirk in your lips, okay, and buzz it. Listen, this has got a buzz to it. Product A, what we don't want. Warm and woofy and fuzzy, that's actually will fatigue your voice. Product B, what we do want, which gives us real vocal fold adduction. Make your lips vibrate and tickle. Now, one more thing. As I go into my warm-up, I'm teaching you guys a warm-up here, okay, that will animate your voice.
Sure.
As I go into my warm-up with the buzzy tickle lips, I'm going to add one more thing. I'm going to whimper like a puppy. I'm going to actually engage vocal cry mode. It's the same physical configuration in your larynx and your vocal folds that your body automatically goes into when you're emotionally sad. But if we take that physical position, that vocal mode, and we engage it in a different context for public speaking or singing,
yes,
miracles. I'm telling you, man, it works. So I'm going to do that now. I'm going to add cry mode to my buzzy M.
Sure.
See how I'm sort of whimpering like a puppy? You got now that's all very weird and strange. But if I then release my voice from that, we get all right, now I've got a really nice animated amplified voice that is backed by a thinned out vocal fold position because of cry mode, and my resonance is forward in the mask because I've been buzzing. And if you did this for about 5 to 6 minutes before you go on with a podcast or before you sing, your voice will be amplified, animated, and healthy, by the way. You will not get tired.
Excellent. That's great. Let's jump over to the other side of your business, the agency. Okay.
And I've had too much coffee.
Oh, hey, that's okay. That's what conferences are all about. You'd be fueled by coffee and Red Bull and all the things. So jumping over to your agency where you help content creators create their courses, cohorts, stuff of that nature. What has been an aha moment that you've had in working with creators and authors and speakers as it pertains to creating those things that you do? What's an aha moment for you?
Another great question. It was precisely the topic of my talk here at PodFest, at VidFest.
Yes.
And that was do it yourself on camera. Now, our agency will facilitate and offer a fancy, more higher investment on location shoot service. But for those that don't have that in their budget, and even if they do, we still need to get on a camera from time to time, right, for social media. What I learned that really surprised me as an agency owner, because I've been in front of a camera for years, but what really surprised me is that people would, as I said, head and ceiling fan, chop off my head, or the background would be, they would send me videos. Yes. Joseph, hey, Robert, I think I got it, man. Here's some samples here. Let me me show you what I got. I'm feeling good about this. I'm looking at it. I'm like, okay, great. This time we're not looking at your ceiling fan. That's an improvement.
Sure.
But send me another version.
Sure.
Without the laundry.
Yeah.
The dirty laundry sitting on your bed behind you.
Sure.
Sort of thing. So now let's talk about background. So the short answer is, what really amazed me that I had to dive in and help people with is just how to get on camera, and it's a very simple thing without looking like an amateur. And it takes about 3 to 6 hours of coaching.
Yes.
With about 5 simple tips.
Yes.
And people can instantly make their on-camera presentation look professional.
Excellent.
Or real close.
Excellent. One final question.
Yeah.
Our audience is mostly authors, speakers, thought leaders, coaches, consultants. What would you say to our audience here today in regards to wanting to build their platform, go to the next level? In your experience, what is that one thing that they should do to take their platform to the next level?
Make content and have it curated and distributed in numerous ways. Can I give more than one thing?
Go ahead.
2, ensure that the platform that you choose, your learning management system, is the right platform for you. They're not all the same. So make sure you're working with somebody that can consult you properly on that. 3, make sure that the copy and the funnel on your websites, the conversion copy and the funnel, is done by a professional and is done properly. And
Agreed.
4, even if you build the most beautiful content inside the most beautiful learning management system, you have to drive traffic to it, especially if you're new.
Yes.
If you're not a celebrity yet,
Sure.
you're gonna have to do SEO, some paid advertising,
Yes.
and drive traffic to the funnels and the engines that we build. So if you do those things,
Excellent.
you'll have some success
Awesome.
as an agency owner.
So Robert, if people want to connect with you online, where can we find you?
You can find me at for authors and coaches at coursecreek.com. So course as in an online course, creek as in a little river, coursecreek.com. And if anybody would like some vocal coaching, some vocal health work, that's thevocaliststudio.com. And you can find me at LinkedIn.
Excellent. Thanks everyone for joining us today for the Compendium podcast, hosted here live at PodFest 2022 in Orlando, Florida. Robert, thank you for joining us. It's been a pleasure.
That was cool.
Thank you for joining us for today's broadcast. I do hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. And be sure to visit us online at leadershipbooks.store. There you'll find the works of some of the finest thought leaders today. And be sure to tune in here each week to gain even deeper insights from one of those leaders on the Compendium podcast.